Hello there. If you would like to hear more about how to find balance when you feel like work is overly busy, then you're in the right place. You're here for today's Cocoon and Cuppa episode with me. I'm Katie Phillips. I founded the School of Self-Love, and today is Q&A Wednesday, which means I'm answering your questions. And I received a question today from a member of my Evolution membership. Her name is Isabelle. And Isabelle has asked me a question, which is, I would love to hear more about how you find balance when work is overly busy. So I'm very happy to be answering that question now. I'm just going to see if anybody's joining live. And if you are, as you're joining, just say hi. That would be lovely to know who's there. Perhaps why you're joining. That would be really interesting for me to know as well. But I think I will just dive straight in, knowing that this is being recorded, and I know plenty of my community catch these after the fact. So I'll dive in, shall I? All right, so I'm hoping Isabelle will be able to join, but because it's her question about work being really busy, and I know that she's really busy right now, she may not be able to make it. But Isabelle, if you're there, say hello. Let me know that you're here. And anybody else who's joining, let me know that you're arriving. And welcome, by the way. So, all right, to answer your question, how to find balance when work is overly busy. First of all, just to address the piece about balance. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Sana. I'm not a big fan of the word balance, to be honest. I think that puts a lot of pressure on ourselves. But I don't mind it when we're kind of going macro. So in the micro of, say, a work, so we're talking about work, right? So in the micro of a work day, sometimes there's seasons for everything, isn't there? And sometimes, oh, hi, Barney. Sometimes we're going to have really, really busy days. And then we're going to have really not so busy days. And we're going to take days off. We're going to have holidays. So the big picture is balance. If you're working 365 days a year, there's no balance there. If you're not taking any holidays, there's no balance there. So it is about, I think, getting that sort of macro balance. But what I'm understanding from Isabelle is this. I know that because she elaborated on the question a little bit more in our private membership, and it was really around like not wanting to be in that pushing energy constantly, which is exhausting, right? So I'm going to address that. And I think the first thing we need to question ourselves when we want to feel more balanced, to have that greater kind of sense of peace and ease when we are going through busy periods, is to connect in with our why. And this feels like my answer to so many things on these Q&As. Because a conscious woman, and say hi if you're joining on Facebook, by the way, a conscious woman is connected to herself, right? She knows why she does what she does. She doesn't just allow herself to kind of go into autopilot and get swept along. She knows why she's taking the action she is. And she's connected to whether or not that feels good for her or not. So she is in choice. Yeah, an empowered woman is in choice. So if you're feeling, as Isabelle says, overly busy, why? Why? Hey, Wendy, nice to have you. Why are you feeling overly busy? What's that about? And is that a choice? Are you loving your work? Are you inspired by your work? Are you passionate about your work? Hello, Izzy. Yeah, what's your why? Because if we're not, especially when it comes to work, I mean, I feel this with my work. If I wasn't deeply passionate and motivated and committed to helping women transform their lives, if I wasn't connected to that why every single day, work would feel hard. Like there's a lot about running a business. And I did my taxes yesterday. If you joined me on Monday, by the way, and I set my intention to do my taxes this week, I did it. Big tick for me, pat on the back. So I sent everything off to my accountant to sort out. But I got it all together. And I'm very proud of myself for that. But, running a business, if I'm not, I can't do my taxes. I can't stand doing my accounts. There's elements of the tech side of the business. There's certain elements of running a business that, aren't that fun for me. There are elements that are so much fun for me. If I wasn't connected to my why, those heavier pieces would be really difficult and maybe not even get done. So we need to know why we're doing what we're doing, because I feel like that's a very motivating and exciting energy, right? And then, sorry, I did scribble some notes before joining the call, so let me take a quick look. Yeah, so we need to be connected with our passion and inspiration to propel us forward. I think that's really, really important. Otherwise, it will feel hard. The other thing I felt important to mention when we're connecting to our why is to connect with gratitude as well. So if we are doing, and I'm personally feeling, I feel very, very lucky and blessed to have a job that I'm incredibly passionate about. It feels like my absolute life's purpose. I don't think many people can say that. So I feel very lucky to have that. And in times like this, I'm even more grateful that I'm self-employed, that I self-propel my workflow. I'm not at the mercy of somebody else telling me whether I have a job or not. So I'm in huge gratitude. And I had an incredibly busy morning this morning, as it happens. And if I wasn't grateful for my work, if I wasn't passionate about my work, if I wasn't connected with my why, I might have found that really difficult. Yeah. But I'm connected to those pieces, my why and my gratitude. And for those of us that are busy right now with work, aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky right now? Because there's so many people losing their jobs or having a reduced income. Yeah, so I feel that it's really important to connect with gratitude. And I know that Isabelle is she's got the biggest heart. She's the most grateful, beautiful human being. And I know it's easy to forget what we have to be grateful for. And there's something about gratitude that inspires an abundance mindset, which really does help us in times when we're really busy. Next, I wanted to address the masculine feminine flow. So when you're connected to your why, I would suggest that allows you to connect with your inspiration and your higher self, and therefore your purpose, why you're here doing what you're doing. And that's the feminine which inspires the masculine into action. So I think when we're doing any kind of work, we want to have that beautiful dance between our masculine and feminine energies within us. Like at work, we want to be guided by our feminine. So our masculine energy looks to our feminine to be inspired if we're conscious. If we're not conscious, we're just on a treadmill and we find ourselves busy and doing stuff and we don't even know why. We're like just busy for the sake of being busy, and maybe we get our significance from being busy and important, and we're following the crowd and we're doing what we should and they're doing it, so I'll do that. But we're not particularly conscious and connected with why we're doing what we're doing in that flow. The feminine is connected to herself. The feminine is connected to her spiritual self, her soul, her heart. She resides in the body. She's very connected to what feels good for her. And so when we take time every day to connect in with our spiritual truth, the truth of who we are, we can feel into what our purpose is. We can feel into what work feels good for us. When we take time to rest and relax and receive inspiration and guidance, we know that we're working in a way that feels really good and true for us. And that inspired guidance can then be handed over to our masculine energy. And we can say, hey, this is what feels really good for me. I'd love to make this happen. And our masculine can then step in and go, yes, I want to serve you. Brilliant. Let me make that happen for you. When our masculine steps in and takes action and gets that mind working and that intellect, it feels energizing. It doesn't feel draining because we're doing something that feels good and true for us. So I think having that masculine feminine dance really helps to achieve a sense of balance, because we have a balance inside. So there's more of an external balance because internally we've got our masculine and feminine dancing. Does that make sense? And then I think it's really important to prepare. I think like an empowered woman is always prepared. That's something I'm always saying. It's something I do a lot of. Quite often my morning practice after sort of meditation and journaling or inspirational reading or yoga or whatever my morning practice is going to be for that day. I will think about my day ahead. I might even think about my week ahead. I might even consider my month ahead. If I know I've got busy periods coming up, I'm happy to be busy because I'm connected to my why. I'm grateful. I've got that beautiful balance between my masculine and feminine going on. I can see, right, I've got a busy period coming up. I'm excited because I'm getting to do what I'm passionate about. I'm on purpose. I'm going to prepare to make sure that I can move through this busy period of time with as much ease and grace as possible. So what does that mean? It means planning out my days to include things that nourish me, things that fill me up, things that bring me peace and calm. Now, that could be, so if I'm looking at my week ahead, I might even do some meal planning, and I might, excuse me, I might pre-cook some stuff so that it's ready to go when I'm kind of on the run. There might be lunches, it could be like pre-cooked, like frozen meals in my freezer, so that at the end of the day, when I'm absolutely exhausted from working hard, I've got a beautiful, nourishing meal waiting for me. That's one level of planning. We might plan out, like I quite like my yoga classes, so I would probably look at my yoga schedule for the week, even the month, and book them all in. So I know that I've got those. I would even book in things like my exercise, perhaps some time with friends, definitely my morning rituals, my spiritual practices. I would book them in my calendar as if they are a meeting that can't be moved. So if you've got anybody else looking at your calendar, if you've got an assistant managing your calendar, she can see, and she doesn't need to know what it is. You can just block it out. She doesn't need, no one needs to know why. You know why, but it's non-negotiable. You're unapologetic. These are what I need for me to do my job properly, to do my job well, and to feel that kind of sense of balance. But you block it out in advance. When we're busy, we're too busy to even remember to do that. We're too busy doing what we're doing to stop what we're doing. Oh, right, gosh, I know there's a yoga class at lunchtime today. Let me just quickly book that in. We're too busy. So we need to prepare that kind of thing. Yeah. So as much as possible, considering your body's needs, considering your emotional needs, considering your mental needs, or the self-care on all those levels. What do you need to prepare in advance so you can set yourself up for success? An empowered woman is always prepared. And I think preparing your environment is also really important. My office, I can't show you now because I've got 2 cameras on the go with Facebook and Instagram. But the environment I work in is so important to me. It has to be beautiful. It has to be clean and tidy. It has to reflect me. When I look around, I've got artwork. I've got all of my library of personal growth books. I've got vision boards. I've got my affirmations on my pin board here. I've got plants. Oh my God, I've got, like, what did I have? I've got my Buddhas here. I've got fragrance. I've got a frangipani fragrance here, which I love, and it reminds me of Australia. Like, make it beautiful, make it you, make it a space where when you walk in, you go, yeah, this feels good. It's all about feeling good. I think when we're busy, we've got to do everything we can to support ourselves in feeling good. So the environment is really, really important. Yeah, and the other thing about, I've kind of said this already, but the preparation piece, this is about living consciously. This is about living in connection with your needs. So one of my favorite things to do, which I'm always sharing, is when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, how do I feel and what do I need? And then make that happen for yourself to support yourself through the day. So there's nothing worse than just starting your day on autopilot and you kind of wake up, fall out of bed. It's like, oh my God, just, like pour coffee, make food, run out of house, go to job, do what's got to be done, like commute. Not that any of us are really commuting right now. But that's such an unconscious way of living. You're just on an autopilot, you're on a treadmill, and that doesn't feel good. And it's very easy to get swept along by life rather than consciously moving through life. So I think preparation is a really perfect way to live consciously and not on autopilot. And then finally, I would invite you to support so you've done your prep. Um, and then you're in your day, you're in your busy day, and you know you're supported with, you've got your yoga class tonight, and you've got your lunch pre-made and it's in the fridge, and your environment's beautiful, and you're feeling on purpose because you love what you do, and you've connected with your why, and you're so grateful to have this wonderful work. And then you're doing your work. And then if I were you, if you're really busy and you want to take this feeling of balance to the next level, I would be setting an alarm on my phone for at least every 30 minutes. And every 30 minutes, you just stop, and all the alarm is doing is reminding you to ask yourself, how do I feel? And what do I need? What would feel really good right now? Every 30 minutes, what would feel really good right now? Do I need to just, in fact, I can feel it now, my neck's really tight. Do I need to just like have a little stretch? Do I need to, maybe I've got some music in the background. That's another great thing for environment. I like having classical music on in the background, or the sort of acoustic. There's a Spotify playlist that I love. What's it called? It's like cafe tunes, but it's like really acoustic and feminine, and I love it. But then I might want to change it up, and I might want to put on, maybe someone's just really pissed me off, and I think, you know, I'm going to put on some angry music and like some Rage Against the Machine and just dance it out. Maybe I just need a 5-minute dance break, just listening, like changing up the music, listening to that. Maybe I need to go and fill up my water bottle. Maybe it's time for a cup of tea and just stand with my bare feet in the garden, connect to the ground for 5 minutes while the kettle's boiling, listen to the birds, look at the sky, get my cup of tea, come back to my desk. Maybe I need to just go for a wee. I mean, the number of women I speak to who work in corporate and they're like, I don't even have time to wee. It's crazy, right? But every half an hour, what do I need? A wee. I need a snack. You know what? I just need to make that phone call to make that doctor's appointment. Yeah. So every 30 minutes, set your alarm. What would feel good now? And do that. Yeah. That means you're injecting the balance and the self-care all the way through your day in just little tiny bite-sized chunks. And bite-sized chunks really add up. So by the end of the day, you feel like I've done a great job. I've felt so connected to my purpose. I've served my community, my clients, my purpose, and I've supported myself through it in multiple ways, at multiple levels. Can you feel the multiple levels of support there? Yeah. So I hope that helps. I'm just going to check to see if I've got. Barney said Rage Against the Machine is therapy. I can agree with that. It really is. And when I run my tantrum club classes, which I haven't done in ages, I play Rage Against the Machine. Brilliant. It's brilliant. Okay, guys, I hope that has been helpful, and I will be joining you again on Friday at 5 o'clock for some self-love wisdom, which is my reflection on my week and my experiences and my own personal growth, which usually tends to dovetail with what my clients have going on. And I don't know if you're on Instagram, you might have seen it, and I will be sharing it elsewhere, but I have decided to give the first month of Evolution membership to you for free. So if you've never joined Evolution membership before and you want to come in and try it out for a month, then I'm going to give you the first month free. So I'll put the link in so you can go check it out. If you're on Instagram, it's in my bio. There's so much in there. And the cool thing is we've already got from January through to June's worth of all the expert masterclasses, all the group coaching calls, so much incredible content from world-class coaches where like, you wouldn't get access to these people without investing in their programs. You don't have to do that. You get to experience their masterclasses in the membership. You get to experience my masterclasses. There's a variety of them, my coaching, and this really incredible community. And this month, because we have a different theme every month, this month's theme is pleasure. It's all about balance. It's all about fun and joy and feeling good and making feeling good a habit, because most of us don't have that as a habit in our lives, right? So if you want to create a habit of feeling good and feel really good and not guilty about bringing pleasure into your day-to-day life, we're running a challenge the whole month in the membership, all of the masterclasses and teachings, which I'm going to be announcing either today or tomorrow in the group. I've got some amazing people coming in. It's going to be all about pleasure. all about pleasure. So if you want to really set yourself up around just that subject, come join us for June. And if you love the membership, and I'm pretty sure you will because it's a freaking awesome community, you'll probably want to stay on with us. Anyway, love you lots. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you on Friday at 5. Bye, guys. Bye.